Okay, so Jay, could you tell what your full name is and where are you at school? What are you studying?
My full name is Ziliang. People call me Jay. I am currently studying at McGill University. It's my last year at McGill University.
And so you are one of the interns with the Egypt Oral History Project. And what brought you to this internship?
Well, I was aware of this internship through a professor. I was studying Middle Eastern foreign policy at that moment, and I was interested in Egyptian human rights, and I thought I'd give it a try. I didn't know anything about this subject prior to coming to this internship, and I'm glad to say that after this internship, I've learned a tremendous amount on Egypt and its human rights.
Right, so you were joking, telling me that before you knew about Egypt and mummies, and now you've expanded your knowledge base.
Yes, yes.
So what have you thought about the things you've been learning about, both from the interviews and from the seminar where we talk about Egypt current events and things like that?
I think it's amazing that Egypt going through its revolution, the scale of it. I think that's what really amazed me. Getting 1 million people into the square, that takes a tremendous amount of will. That takes a tremendous amount of motivation. And going through these internships, going through these interviews, I find that people are very politically motivated to have a better future for themselves, and that's something. When I'm looking through these internships, that's something that I really find admirable, I think.
Yeah. And you've been very prolific in your transcriptions. Excellent work. So could you talk a little bit about what are some of the things that really struck you about the interviews that you transcribed?
Which one?
Pick anyone that interests you.
Well, the first interview that I transcribed was a public defender in Egypt, and he really made me aware of the legal system in Egypt, about how lawyers really didn't have time to prepare their cases, maybe had 2-3 days to prepare their cases. So he really brought out the flaws in the Egyptian legal system, something that I've never known before. So I found that was very interesting. Throughout other transcripts, I'm currently doing one right now, and he was talking about his activism in Aswan in Egypt, and I found that very interesting because Aswan usually, when you hear about the revolution in Egypt, it's more focused on Cairo, and there was a lot of activism in Aswan as well. So that I really found that extremely interesting as well.
Yes, and that person was part of the Kifaya movement in the early days, I think around the 2004 and later. Have you come to that part of the interview? Okay. So what? How about the seminars? What's been? How have you felt about those? The meetings we've been having.
I think I greatly enjoy the seminars. I think it's I haven't in my second semester this semester. I haven't taken any Middle Eastern classes, so the seminar is a great way for me to keep current with Egyptian as well as Middle Eastern foreign policies and human rights. I get a lot of my news from the seminar, and it's a great way for us to participate and to discuss issues regarding the Egyptian constitutions, regarding Egyptian government, and as well as any protests that came up. And just recently, Egypt has announced that they would put to death 529 Muslim Brotherhood members. So it was something that we were able to discuss in the conferences, and we were able to learn more about it.
Yeah. So your background is very interesting. We have a wonderful batch of interns with such diverse backgrounds. Could you talk a little bit about how you're born and lived in numerous different countries?
Yes,
Could you mention what your trajectory has been in terms of multinationalism?
Yes, I was born in China. I grew up the younger part of my childhood in China. I left when I was 7. I moved to Singapore for 2 years. That's when I learned my English. And then after that, my family and I moved to Montreal. I grew up here and then French here. And about 4 or 5 years ago, I spent my high school in the United States, actually, like 6-7 years ago. I spent my high school in the United States. I completed high school in the United States, and I came back from McGill. Right now, I major in biology as well as political science.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what's your home base in the United States when you go back?
My home base, my family and I reside currently in Mississippi. Yeah. Mississippi.
What do you think in 20 years, what do you think you'll remember about this experience with this oral history project?
Well, I'm a person who kind of remembers everything, so I think I'll remember tremendously. I think I'll remember a lot about this experience, but I think that one thing about this experience that really that will really keep for a long time is the will for, I think again, is the will for people for political participation. Just the sheer scale of people coming in together from different organizations, from different ideologies, coming in together and demanding a better future for themselves. I think that's something that's both very inspirational to me, and also it's something that I will, no matter what I do in the future, I think that's something that will keep with me.
Yeah, and so many of those people were your age.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're
just people just like us. Not 50, 60-year-olds, seasoned veterans, but just young people like us who are demanding a better future, who are demanding better life for themselves.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Well, just that this has been a great experience. I hope whoever is reading this know what a tremendous honor it has been to be part of this project, and I hope wherever life takes me, I hope I'll continue doing something like this in the future.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.